Hello, Times Cryptic, let's go. Stays in my place. This is corset. So corset is stays, my is the interjection core, and place is set. Angry about combination of two different styles. Gosh. Angry looks like a reference to a word beginning with C, but I'm not getting that. Followers to join up on borders. Nope. Regret climbing competition lacking base in continent. This is Europe. So regret is rue, climbing is a reversal indicator. Competition is open, as in a golf tournament. Lacking base, lacking its last letter. That gives Europe, which is a continent. Swimmers, excessive gear, regularly pruned. Yeah, this is otter. So an otter is a swimmer. It's an animal which swims. Excessive is OTT for over the top. And gear regularly pruned, well, regularly pruned tells us to take every other letter of the word gear. And beginning with the second letter, that's E and R. Toot, tool, packs seed for bird. Well, I think this may end piper, because some birds end piper, and seed is a pip. Yeah. So tool is sander, packs seed, packs pip. That gives sandpiper, which is a bird. Now, do we have enough for one down? Angry, cross. About combination of two different styles. No, not getting that. Followers, retinue. To join up on borders. Yeah, to join is to unite, up is a reversal indicator, and then on is re, because re is Latin for about or on. Borders, borders the reversal of unite. Change in direction, ever changing. This is veer. So a veer is a change in direction, and then changing is an anagram indicator for ever. Now this has to be crossover, but how does the word play work? Angry is cross, about is over. That gives crossover, which is a combination of two different styles. Mammal, just keen, we're told. We're told looks like a homophone indicator. Mammal. No, not getting that. Rest before meal, ignoring large. Drink. Nope. Reveling in macho hairstyle. This is Mohican. So reveling is an anagram indicator for in macho. That gives Mohican, which is a hairstyle. Man discards shirt at last. Tight one. Yeah, this is miser. So man is Mr. Discards shirt at last, discards the last letter of shirt. That leaves miser, which is a tight one. Tight as in miserly. Respect checking record for beginning of a site visit. Wow. No. Comfort, individual, supporting prisoner. Yeah, this is console. So to console is to comfort, individual is soul, supporting prisoner, supporting con. Con is short for convict. Old language found in Cameroon or Senegal. This is Norse. So Norse is an old language, and this is a hidden clue, and the hidden indicator is found in. So beginning with the N of Cameroon, we can read Norse. Subject lying face down. Well, I wanted to say prone because that means lying face down, but why does prone? Yeah, prone does mean subject in the sense of prone to get ill, subject to get ill. And prone also means lying face down, so that's a double definition. Unusual red star initially key for consolation. Well, I can see that Ursa Minor is a constellation which fits the letter pattern. So unusual looks like an anagram indicator. But how is that working? Key could be A minor, a musical key. So what we're left to explain is URS. Aha. So initially, if we take the initial letters of unusual red star, we get URS. Then key A minor gives Ursa Minor, which is a constellation. Respect, checking a record for beginnings of site visit. I think this is home page. So, respect, checking record. Yeah, respect is homage. Checking record, checking EP, short for extended play, a type of record. That gives home page, which is the beginning of a site visit on the internet. Rest before meal, ignoring large. Drink. No. Expert stops entry. Happening. So, well, no, an expert could be a wanna, but that doesn't really get us very far. Already looked at that. Let me look at 23 down because it provides some initial letters for other clues. Add juice to. Some cutlets a butcher sent back. This is based. So to baste is to add juice to, and then some is a hidden indicator, and sent back a reversal indicator. So beginning with the B of butcher and reading backwards, we can read B-A-S-T-E. At the recent crossword championships in London, there was a Q&A with the Times Crossword editor, and I asked him what changes he'd made since taking office, and he gave a very full response, but one of them was that he had relaxed the conventions or rules around hidden clues. He didn't go into further detail, and he wasn't pressed, but I suspect the inclusion of reversed hidden clues in addition to regular hidden clues like Norse, may be an example of that relaxation. Okay, so 23 across. Fundamental programming language. This is basic. Double definition. Basic means fundamental, and basic is also a computer programming language. Craft with a bow and mast fashioned outside entrance to Portsmouth. So, entrance to Portsmouth looks like it's a reference to the initial letter, a P. That means the definition is at the beginning of the clue. So it could be craft or craft with a bow. So, I wonder if it's just craft in the sense of boat. And this could be steamship. It certainly begins with S. So, steamship is a craft with a bow and mast fashioned. Well, mast fashioned. Fashioned looks like an anagram indicator for must. I'm going to leave this in, but not pursue this because it could be wrong. Ousted Democrat leaves very upset. Nope. Produced low Frame of mind to conserve energy. Okay, so this is all going, which is good since I couldn't explain it. This is mood. Mood is produced low. Low is another word for the sound that a cow makes. Frame of mind is mood. To conserve energy, to conserve E, the abbreviation for energy. This could be steamboat, but let me corroborate this M first. Northern location, lacks right. Cooking vessel. Yeah, this is, well, let's get rid of steam. That was a hopeless attempt. So this is stock pot. A stock, well, northern location is Stockport, a town in the north of England. Lacks right, without R, the abbreviation for right. That leaves stock pot, which is a cooking vessel. Ousted. I wonder if this is evicted. Democrat leaves very upset. This is ejected. So ejected means ousted. Democrat is D, the abbreviation. And then very upset is dejected. So if D leaves dejected, we're left with ejected. Empty gesture, say, to develop slowly. This could be gestate, and it is. So empty gesture, if we empty the word gesture, we're just left with the outside letters G and E. Say is state. That gives gestate, which means to develop slowly. Craft, with a bow and mast, fashioned outside entrance to Portsmouth. So we've got the entrance to Portsmouth. Craft, with a bow and mast fashioned. So I think we're looking for an anagram of a bow and mast outside P. So this probably does end boat. So let me see what letters we're left with. So certainly we've got A, B, O. Then we need a W, which we haven't got. Then we need mast. So this is swamp boat. A new one on me. Let me just reconfirm that this is a bow with mast outside P. Yes, it is. Well, it's plausible. It could be a boat used in swamps. Mammal. I wonder if this is right whale. That's a mammal. Just is right, and keen is W-A-I-L, and we're told is a homophone indicator. And whale, W-A-I-L, sounds like the answer. Downgrade, extremely reliable ambassador. This is relegate. So to relegate is to downgrade. Extremely reliable is the extreme letters of reliable. And then ambassador is legate. Friend loses finale after playing game. Catastrophe. So I think this begins mega, because I think playing is an anagram indicator for game. That gives mega. So we're looking for a 5-letter friend, or a 6-letter friend losing its last letter, to go after mega to make a word meaning catastrophe. And I don't know what that is. Delayed with other people heading west. This is late. So late means delayed. With other people is et al, a Latin expression meaning with other people. Heading west, that means that is a reversal indicator. So read from right to left, east to west, et al. Town flat in the middle of play area. No. Expert stops entry happening. No. Rest before meal. ignoring large, drink. So I think this ends punch because I think the meal is lunch, ignoring large, ignoring L, the clothing abbreviation. So rum punch is a drink. Yeah, this is rum punch. So rest is rump, as in the remainder. Before meal, ignoring large. Before lunch without L. That gives rum punch, which is a drink. Now, this N isn't particularly helpful. Well, no, because if something is happening, well, it could be on or in. And expert stop suggests that expert is in the middle of a word meaning entry. So we're not looking for wanna on the outside of something. We're looking for a word meaning expert. Yeah, which is a pro. This is in progress, I think. So expert, pro, stops entry, stops ingress. That gives in progress, which means happening. Town, flat in the middle of play area. Play area could be field. So Sheffield fits. But I'm not getting the rest of the word play. In battle site to the north of Delaware. No. Now let me pause and do my brief typo squiz. Make sure everything that's in is intended. All the acrosses looking good. Downs looking good so far. Yeah, so just this bottom right to go, and there are a couple of clues I haven't looked at. Member carrying over a bouquet. Could this be aroma? So member could be arm. Carrying over, carrying O, the cricketing abbreviation for over. Then A is A, that gives aroma, which means bouquet. Gasp and cries of excitement heard. Yeah, I think this is wheeze. So to wheeze is to gasp, and a cry of excitement is whee, W-H-E-E. Heard is a homophone indicator, so cries of excitement would be wheeze, which sounds like the answer. Great, H in last place looks helpful. Waitress finally, put down vegetable. So I think we're looking for a vegetable. Waitress finally is probably the final letter of waitress. Put down vegetable. Yeah, few. So waitress finally is S, put down is quash, and that gives squash, which is a vegetable. Great. Q in the middle of a word. What a delightful sight. Almost always helpful. Friend is a Quaker in the religious sense. Society of Friends are Quakers. So loses finale, Quaker without its last letter, after an anagram of game, gives megaquake, which is a catastrophe. Ooh, this doesn't look particularly helpful. In battle site, to the north of Delaware. Yeah, I think this is Alamode. So in, Alamode means fashionable, and in means fashionable. So just in is the definition. Battle site is Alamo, a battle site in in American history, possibly the American Civil War. To the north of Delaware, to the north of DE, the abbreviation for Delaware. Fantastic, just one clue to go, and it's not Sheffield. Town, flat, Flat is even, so I think the town is going to be Stevenage. So Stevenage is a town in England. Flat is even, in the middle of play area, in the middle of stage. The stage is where plays occur. So there we go. Every clue solved, every clue explained, no empty squares. Submit, submit. Hope and pray. No errors. Wow. I still have anxiety every time I click that submit button. You always feel that there's a possibility that something which you've assumed or been confident about isn't in fact the case. However, we survive another day. So what a beautiful puzzle. I loved that. Absolutely fantastic fun from the Times. And I think we've got a great future for the Times. One of the other changes mentioned by the new Times crossword editor is that they've introduced 4 or 5, possibly more, new setters. And I think they have a team of about 15 to 20 setters. And I think this introduction of 4 or 5 new ones has been to replace those who are leaving. But it's always very exciting to get new setters in, because as much as the Times puts out an anonymous and standardized to some extent in terms of difficulty crossword, you do feel that every individual setter must inevitably bring their own skills and talents and preferences to the table. So it's exciting to look forward to having puzzles set by fresh blood in the Times. Anyway, back to this puzzle. I think this was fairly straightforward, but not totally easy. So I think the snitch for this probably in the 60s or 70s. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that solve. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.